Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Money Podcast, your source for all things money. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Paul Spradling on the line. He's managing partner over at Pacifica Business Brokers. Paul, welcome to the show.
Hi, Adam. Thank you so much for having me today.
So excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to go through some, current business trends and opportunities that you're seeing in the marketplace. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into what you're doing over at Pacifica Business Brokers. So first, tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Yeah, so the company was founded by my partner and I, and what we do is we do small, mid-sized business brokerage, and we help acquisition. So we have larger private equity clients or high net worth individuals that are looking to acquire operating businesses to have higher yields. So all sorts of businesses. We do manufacturing, healthcare, biotech, food and beverage, you name it. So we have agents in San Diego, Orange County, Los Angeles, Riverside so far, and growing hopefully. So yeah, that's awesome. A little bit of what we do.
That's awesome, and that's the reason why I wanted to have you on the line today, Paul, because I do want to go into, current business trends and just opportunities that you're seeing in the market. I mean, from your vantage point, you're in the middle of deal flow. I mean, what kind of interesting things are you seeing?
Well, we're seeing all sorts of things, right? But the most interesting thing I think I've been seeing out there, and I've been talking about it ever since this crisis started, was asset sales. So there's very particular assets that are very tied uniquely to a specific industry or business. So imagine you're a manufacturer of whatever it is, doorknobs. And there's a specific mold that only doorknob companies have. So there's only 5, 10 doorknob companies that are big and operating. So one of them goes out of business. So they have this heavy, very expensive machinery. And the other one will acquire all this expensive machinery, millions of dollars worth of machinery for pennies on the dollar. So asset sales, restaurants that are going out of business, industrial kitchens. Asset sales is something we were seeing a lot, and as well as investor foreclosures. So a lot of the equity stakeholders that are not particularly operators in a particular business, they were just angel investors, but their returns were not given, so they're going to have to pull the trigger and foreclose on these businesses. So they're going to be offloading these businesses at cost or cheap, or hiring managers, and there's also an opportunity for those people who have operational skills to be doing fee-based money, and they can start helping people and getting those deals done because the investors are offloading them.
Yeah, it seems to me like obviously there's whenever there's big movement like this in the market, I mean it's volatility. So if we're looking at it, there's going to be winners and losers on both sides, and the challenge is navigating through this to obviously come out at the other end in a better position if possible than you started. So no, I completely see that. So what do you think and this is not asking you to have a crystal ball, by the way, or anything like that, but what do you see kind of happening with some of these asset sales and this opportunity kind of playing into, let's say, the rest of the year? Do you see this continuing, or what do you see kind of happening?
Yeah, like you mentioned, I don't have a crystal ball, but if I were to guesstimate it, I would assume we will still be on quarantine until probably mid-June. And if that goes on, that's another 2 months of bills that people are going to have to come up with, and salaries and costs and rent and mortgage, et cetera, which will take a toll in a lot more American businesses. In the real estate sector, you're already seeing the mortgage-backed securities starting to get fragile. So I think the government has done a very good job on helping small businesses so far, but I don't know if the help has arrived on time, and it might not arrive on time. So on all the businesses, and then some businesses might have already been struggling before. So I think that even if the economy bounces next month, the damage has been done, and there will be a lot of opportunities out there.
Yeah, especially like our restaurants or some of these, businesses that don't operate on the, the largest margins. You take a couple of months off, and it just doesn't look pretty.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I exactly see where you're going. So restaurants, hospitality, any company that's related to the hospitality sector, laundry rooms, etc., restaurants, hospitality management companies, all of that, we've been seeing a lot of action and people requiring investments or loans, or there'll be an opportunity to acquire a lot of loans as well. That's another business opportunity.
So we've talked a bit about industry. I'm just curious if you have any opinion on geography in the United States specifically, and in terms of potential opportunities in areas that might be more interesting versus others.
Well, I think geography, I think the core markets are going to be a little bit more affected. That's just my opinion. I don't have the data to back it. But I just think that core higher end markets such as California, New York, maybe Miami, and they will be more affected just because their costs are higher. And they're, even though you might think their margins are higher, their margins are very similar to companies such as like Texas, because they don't have the corporate tax and they have other breaks and the state tax. So that's why I think California and New York will feel it, as well as California and New York have some of the more restrictive stay-at-home policies. So as well, all that played out, I think that's why those two markets are going to be the most affected, California and New York.
Where do you think, and again, this is another tricky question, but where do you think you'll be focusing the majority of your time in terms of looking for deals and deal flow, going into even the new year? So what kind of like interests you and just is really exciting that you're just looking under every rock for right now?
I think what's very exciting for us, and we're looking under every rock, is manufacturing companies, and we have big private equity firms that love that, and I personally and my partner would like to look into some of those deals ourselves. But yeah, the manufacturing businesses, because you can put different pieces of a manufacturing conglomerate, and the multiples, you can buy them at 1 to 3 multiples and buy 3 or 4, and now you grow the EBITDA, the amount of profits the company makes, and you can sell it at much higher multiple now that it's a conglomerate that makes related products. So manufacturing, I think that since it was halted and maybe they were selling to food and beverage companies, restaurants, or maybe they were selling to whoever their main client was, if they didn't have a strong online presence, if their main customer was retail, and it's just a good time to shift that, and there's many buyers on that sector. So that's what I'm looking for. Yeah,
I've seen manufacturing just so interesting, especially when you think about, you combine this with the combination of what you're talking about, technology, like the digitization of it, and a lot of processes and things that haven't been done. There's just so much opportunity there, especially looking at new markets and other things like that for even the existing company. I've just seen so much happen in that space. I have to agree with you. That's really exciting time there if you're looking to maybe have some value add plays and to grow. That being said, Paul, I can talk to you about this all day long, but we're about out of time. If somebody's listening to this and they want more information on Pacifica Business Brokers, what's the best way for them to learn more and to connect?
Yeah, so if they can go to our website, pacificabb.com. So our website has lots of information, and they have a reach out box there for us. Or find us on LinkedIn. They're Pacifica Business Brokers. Either way, whatever works for them, just Google us, and there's plenty of information out there, and we'll love to jump on a free call and give them a consultation.
Awesome. Well, hey, Paul, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about the work you're doing over at Pacifica Business Brokers and some of the market trends that you're noticing. So thank you for that. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Money, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments on the video. I mean, love to know what you thought of it and what kind of things you have going on in your world. And Paul, thanks again for coming on the show.